أهلا وسهلا.
Mabuhay.
欢迎。
Bem-vindo.
Welcome to Accent, the first international show produced at the University of Kansas. I am Renee Malasmi.
And I'm Max Waltmeyer with today's news, events, and trends from all over the world.
Lebanon has warned that a deadly cholera outbreak is spreading rapidly, with cases rising after the virulent disease spread from neighboring Syria. Health officials have blamed the country's financial and political struggles, which have left citizens with poor and crumbling sanitization situation.
Russian-installed leaders in Ukraine began relocating the citizens of the Kherson region on Wednesday. Residents in the city received a text from the pro-Russian administration saying that Ukraine is going to shell the area. Ukrainian officials have accused Russia of generating hysteria. Ukrainian forces have been advancing through parts of Kherson recently, reclaiming it.
This is up and coming month is the German celebration of Oktoberfest. It is celebrated all over the world, but few people know why. Kyle is going to ask the people what they know about Germany.
From September 17th to October 3rd, Germany celebrates Oktoberfest with music, dance, drinking, and carnivals. The historic holiday was originally in celebration of the marriage between the Prince of Bavaria and Princess Teresa in 1810. Today we went to Jayhawk Boulevard to ask the students what they know about the holiday. Do you know where the country is located?
Yes, Europe, like by France.
It is in Western Europe.
It is in Europe, north of Austria and east of France, I believe.
In Europe.
It is in Europe.
It's in Europe.
In Europe.
Europe.
In Europe.
Something to do with like one of the kings, I think.
Oh, what is celebrated? I don't know. I know how they celebrate with beer.
The harvest, I guess, and they're making beer.
I know they drink beer.
They drink a lot of beer.
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 Do you know any famous people that come from Germany?
Oh, I don't think I do. No.
Like Beethoven.
I think Rainer Fulmick is German. He's a doctor, or not a doctor. He might be a PhD, but he's kind of like a outspoken person about certain issues.
There's Kepler, Johannes Kepler.
Oh gosh.
Goethe, then Isaac Newton's also German. There are a lot of German scientists.
No.
Oh my gosh, playwrights. I already said Johannes Kepler. Isaac Newton, of course.
So what's the capital of the country?
Berlin?
Oh man, that is a good question.
I want to say Berlin.
I believe it's Bonn.
It's Berlin.
I want to say Berlin.
Berlin.
I don't know.
Is it Berlin?
Name 3 cities in Germany.
Well, you have Munich, Frankfurt, Pittsburgh's a city, Wiesbaden.
Well, Berlin.
Yeah, Munich, Berlin, and
Aachen, Bonn, and Berlin.
Rotterdam. No, that's not German. Yeah, I don't know.
Berlin.
Berlin.
Nuremberg, and that might be the only one that I actually know.
Name some German cuisine.
There's sauerkraut, then there's like currywurst.
no.
No, I don't. Other than the beer.
I'm gonna have to also pass on that one.
Chicken dishes. But I feel like that's pretty typical for any European country.
Sauerkraut, beer.
I forgot what the dish is called, but I know that there's potatoes in it and some sort of made meat.
Pretzels. Pretzels?
What sports are popular in Germany?
Oh, soccer. Well, I guess football. They'd call it there.
I would say soccer.
Soccer, possibly, and I think rugby could be too.
Maybe like cricket? I don't know. Soccer? Soccer?
Soccer. Skiing, probably.
Rugby.
I think soccer is what I think of most.
So out of these three people, which one of them is German? Albert Einstein, Stephen Hawking, Charles Darwin.
Albert Einstein.
Be Albert Einstein.
Albert Einstein.
I think it's Charles Darwin, but I'm not sure.
Is Einstein? No.
Yeah, it is.
I'm gonna go with Albert Einstein.
Yes, that's correct. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kyle. Germany is definitely a place I would visit.
The couple that created the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine, founders of biotech, may soon be responsible for another monumental vaccine, a vaccine for cancer. The COVID vaccine made mRNA technology mainstream, which will help accelerate a cancer vaccine. More research is needed, but it is said it could be available before 2030.
In Geneva on October 6th, the United Nations body rejected a Western-led motion to hold a debate about alleged human rights abuses by China against Uyghurs and other Muslims in Xinjiang, leaving a victory for Beijing as it seeks to avoid further scrutiny.
Presented by the Harriman Jewel series, the Sao Paulo Symphony Orchestra came to Kansas City in the beginning of the month on its 9th international tour. Reporter Fernanda Silva shows us how the Brazilian musicians feel about coming back to the area after 9 years.
Celebrating the 200th anniversary of Brazil's independence, the São Paulo Symphony Orchestra is on the road to yet another international tour. Considered the best orchestra in the Southern Hemisphere, they landed in Kansas City at the beginning of the month to present in music the beauties of Brazil. During the 2-hour-long presentation in the Hellsberg Hall at Kaufman Center, the orchestra played the music of the Brazilian composer Villa-Lobos.
O gênio desse negócio.
The genius of this thing is the man who faced the blank piece of paper. Villa-Lobos got this blank piece of paper and created a Brazil, and we are part of this creation. Villa-Lobos translates into music the Brazilian soul. Whenever I study the work of Villa-Lobos, I have the same feeling that one has when entering the woods. There's no clear path. You need to use your hands to see where you're going.
The pieces of one of the foremost Latin American composers of the 20th century combines indigenous melodic, folkloric touches and rhythmic elements with Western classical music, showcasing an interesting and sublime version of Brazil.
O Villa-Lobos trouxe à tona o Brasil profundo.
Villa-Lobos brings up a deep Brazil. He traveled the country, he went to the Amazon, to the Midwest, to the South. He got all this Brazil, which was already there, and brought it to classical music. More than only playing Villa-Lobos' music, we are reaching the deep Brazilian roots of what we are as a nation and as people. This is what defines us.
In 2009, when the Orquestra Sinfônica do Estado de São Paulo was in the area for the last time, the Kaufman Center wasn't even built. Their concert back then was held in Lawrence and presented by the University of Kansas.
Todas as vezes que tocamos Villa-Lobos aqui nos Estados Unidos como na Europa.
Every time we play Villa-Lobos here in the United States or in Europe, two fundamental elements for the success of a presentation come together. Number one is the surprise. Villa-Lobos is still not very popular, so there's a surprise when the audience realizes how genius he was. And the other is the profound admiration of the genius. Villa-Lobos got the Brazilians' nature, got the Brazilian soul that is connected to their land, and created music that portrays Brazil.
The first women to lead a major American orchestra, Marina Alsop, guided the Brazilian group with the goal of showing the world the country's classical music.
O nosso trabalho
Our job is to show Brazilian classical music to the world, and nobody can do that for us. It's our color, our lives, our country, and our culture.
This has been Fernanda Silva reporting for Accent.
You may not hear it at first, but it's there. Our chant, rising. On this summit, callings converge, voices unify into a chorus that sounds out for good, for greatness. Can you hear it?
Welcome back to Accent. In Mosul, Iraq, ancient rock carvings were found by a U.S.-Iraqi excavation team dated to be 2,700 years old. The depictions on the carvings include war scenes, grapevines, and palm trees. Iraq is the former home of many ancient cities, including Babylon.
Pakistan Finance Minister Ishaq Dar says Pakistan may buy discounted Russian oil to avoid rescheduling its Paris Club debt following devastated floods. Economists have said Pakistan will have to explore all options to raise and save on its foreign reserves, which have fallen to around 1 month of imports that consist largely of oil and gas purchases.
Last weekend, reporter Ciro Aseo went to the inaugural Lawrence Taco Fest. Besides celebrating great music and food, the event was raising awareness for accepting donations for the Lawrence Humane Society.
Lawrence Taco Festival took place this weekend. It was full of tasty, tempting tacos, along with other treats such as music, community, and fun.
Lawrence Taco Fest isn't just about the food. Taco Fest has an array of art crafts, margaritas, cerveza, shopping, and games that all pay tribute to different Latin cultures while also supporting the Lawrence Humane Society. The festival's inaugural event kicked off this weekend after a 2-year delay thanks to COVID-19 pandemic, with a full slate of food and fun at venue 1235 at 1235 North 3rd Street, Lawrence, Kansas. The event ran from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. this past Saturday, October 15th. I asked Elaine Alderman of the Lawrence Humane Society about how this unique collaboration came to be.
At the time, we were going through a potential funding cut from the city, and they, felt really bad for us and said that they're going to be hosting this event and they would love to have some of the proceeds come to us.
Some 20 or so food vendors are here selling, largely but not limited to, tacos. And they all have one common goal, and that is to support the Lawrence Humane Society.
In an interview with event planner Brett Mosman, owner of Pipeline Productions, he explained why Taco Fest was created and organized for the community.
I think that tacos are kind of the universal language, and everybody loves them and brings everybody together.
The inaugural Lawrence Taco Fest held this past weekend is intended as an annual event and a community food drive, with the hopes of having a new charity for the fundraiser each year. I'm Ciro Aseo, reporting to Accent.
Those tacos look delicious. Can't wait for next year's edition of Taco Fest.
While the cold temperatures start to hit us, in other parts of the world it seems like the weather has been a bit milder. With less major events and even tragedies happening, Erin Porches has all the details for us.
Thank you. Welcome to Weather Update. I am Erin Borgers here, and I am going to talk about a possible cyclone development that is off the coast of Mexico and how we are going to expect some warmer temperatures for Lawrence this weekend. So starting off with our possible cyclone development. Right now there's a tropical disturbance here and that has a good chance of forming into a tropical depression. And as you can see on the bottom of this little graphic, the tropical depression is one step onto becoming then a tropical storm and then a tropical hurricane. So that is just something to keep in mind right now. Nothing has fully formed yet, but it just has a good chance of forming in the next few days. So we're going to keep an eye on that as that occurs. And then of course here in Lawrence on this Thursday morning, it is 58 degrees, it is sunny outside, and it is going to be warmer today. So we got to look forward to that, especially as we look at the hours today. At 1 p.m. is going to be about 69, and then of course we're going to hit our high right in the middle of the afternoon, 4 p.m. it's going to be 76, which will be very, very nice, very warm. It'll be a great day to be outside. And then, of course, into the evening hours, it's going to cool off and get a bit chillier, but it's going to be nice overall, and it's going to stay that way over the weekend, where we're actually looking at highs in the mid-80s, and then Sunday's going to be a bit windy, but it's not going to be too bad overall. Monday and Tuesday I want to pay attention to because there are chances for rain in our area. Monday actually has a chance for thunderstorms along with the rain, so that's just something to keep an eye on as we get a bit closer to those days. But overall, it's going to be warmer this weekend. It's going to be nice. And then next week, of course, it is going to cool a little bit, but it's not going to be as cold as it was this past week. So that is all I have for a weather update. Back to you.
After the colder days, I'm glad we will have some warmer ones on the weekend. After the break, find out some fun facts from all over the world.
Stay tuned.
I always emphasize, get involved. It looks great on a resume. Prospective employers love to see that extra activity on a resume because it shows you're really invested in your education, you want to learn more, and you want to connect with professionals. And just like Media Crossroads, I know there's a lot of opportunities to get involved and develop those multimedia skills. So I encourage all students to take advantage of any opportunity they can take.
This is the best time to make mistakes and to leave without having any regret. So try everything and don't have the intent of mastering or like being a perfectionist the first time you do it. Really be able to be involved in the environment, learn from everybody around you, and have the perspective, today I'm just gonna be better. And if I mess up, it's okay, I have a team that's gonna back me up the whole entire way. So strive to just be better.
Back.
Let's toss it to Grace and Kyle for this week's fun facts.
Thank you, Max and Raneem. Let's move to this week's fun facts.
The country with the most official languages in the world is Zimbabwe, with 16. They currently hold the Guinness World Record for the category as well. Some of the languages include English, Shona, Tonga, and more.
Wow. Have you heard of the Autobahn? This federally controlled highway system in Germany has an advisory speed limit of 81 miles per hour, but overall no limit. The main cause of accidents on the Autobahn come from outside factors like road conditions or weather. Interestingly enough, it is extremely illegal to run out of gas on the Autobahn.
Venice, Italy is known for its beautiful waters and canals and attracts thousands of yearly tourists with its peaceful gondola rides. Surprisingly, there is a law in place that states that all gondolas in Venice have to be painted black. This is to avoid competition between gondola rowers. To get around this, gondoliers decorate and paint the inside of their boats to attract tourists.
Over 69% of Sweden is forest. The Swedish Forestry Act regulates these forests and requires replanting of trees after being cut down. Wood was an essential part of Sweden's early mining industry.
Unknown to many, the official name of the country, Greece, isn't actually Greece. The people of Greece actually call the country the Hellas or Hellada. Its official name is the Hellenic Republic, though it's widely referred to as simply Greece.
Italians have invented many everyday items such as batteries, banks, glasses, and newspapers. Although the magnifying glass was already invented, Italy was the first country to invent eyeglasses. Pinocchio was also first published in an Italian newspaper.
That's all we have for today. Back to you on the desk.
Thank you for watching Accent.
Tune in 2 weeks for more news from all over the world.
Paalam.
مع السلامة.
Ciao.
再见.